like that. Go ahead and take a nap. All right. So we're there in your hands. I'm shutting up. I didn't talk too much.
All right, come on. Let's dive in. Here we go. Y'all got the mics ready? Because it's going to be a dialogue, y'all. So we're going to chop it up together. What's the first question, Tamika? What we got? What do you think about correcting? God, dog, right off the gate. What you think about correcting your child on how they discipline their child or children? Oh, that's a good question. Oh, you got the mic? You put your hand up? Give her. I thought you had your hand up. I was finna wait for that answer. I like that question. What do you think about correcting your child on how they discipline their child or children?
You want to start with? I'll use mine. You know, and if you have a good answer on this, I want you to raise your hand.
Please.
So as I share my thoughts, I want you, go ahead, Sister. You can start off, Sister. Because I have a thought, but I don't have any children that's going to be raising any children, so I don't have a good opinion.
First of all, that's my question, right? And second of all, I don't have.
Get a lot of mic. That mic is, we're going to get a lot of mic. Alana, give me your mic.
I don't have.
Oh, there we go.
I don't have a question with asking my children anything, right? And basically, I'm okay with doing it. It's like some people have an issue with asking their kids anything. The thing is, you have to be very careful with their response because they might say, I don't want to talk about it. That's okay. But my thing is, I'm going to,
Discipline. Oh, she said she on the wrong question. I was like, wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I promise you, they literally think, I think their minds are literally identical minds. They are literally
I was like, what happened?
I would say this part here. Like I say, I don't have a child raising a child, but I do see other children raising children. And how many of y'all know for a fact that we wasn't raised perfectly? She says you want the mic.
So, yeah.
So I want to ask this question. How many of y'all know for a fact that you was raised and it worked, but it may not have been right? Yeah, so let's talk about that, right? And how many of y'all know for a fact, even though it worked and we knew it's not right, we quickly divert to what we was raised. And because it's easy, it's quick, and it get the job done. So we have got to admit two things. I got to say this right now. My wife taught me this. Number one, we got to admit is that the children have an opinion.
that part.
And I didn't have an opinion when I was raised up. I was a body used for service, but I bet not had a mouth that had an opinion. The second thing we have to admit, everybody, I want you to say something. Say, we don't know everything. We don't. And I think a lack of knowledge will create a fear to where we create a dominance that we control our children instead of develop our children. The Bible says raise up a child, not stifle a child. The Bible also says that don't forbid the children to come unto me. That means we got to let them grow and develop. So our fear will cause us to put shackles on our children. So this is what I would say to the answer, and I want to make sure I get someone's opinion, is that if you're going to recognize your child doing wrong, first admit that you may be the reason why they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And tell them, baby, mama didn't do it right or daddy didn't do it right, and I'm sorry I made the mistake, but please don't make the same mistake that I made on you, on your child. And listen, this next thing I'm going to say, and say it frequently. Don't say it out of anger and frustration, but just like how many of y'all married? And how many of y'all you got to say to your spouse something multiple times before they actually get it?
Right.
You don't just say it and quit. That child, listen to me, need you to be their advocate against what you taught the parent to do. So I want you to understand that that child needs you to keep saying it over and over again.
I think if I was to tell my baby, because everybody know how I am with Lala, right? So I just feel like Lala does no wrong, and she's walking now. So I believe I'd be very overprotective, when it comes to their children. But one thing I would tell them is that communication. Like when it comes, I don't care if they're one. Like right now, I'm telling, when Lala was at the house last time, I'm like, Tata, and she had never heard Tata before, but I said, Tata, thank you. Because I don't want you to just have a baby talk, but I want you to be able to kind of realize what thank you is. And so her first time doing it, she threw it. So you knew what I said. You knew I told you, give me that remote, and you threw it. But what we do sometimes, we want to turn around and whoop them for throwing the remote versus having a conversation with, no, Tata, hand it to me. Thank you. Even though she's not talking, she understood. So later on, 2 days later, I would say, thank you, Lala, and she would pass me the thing. I would communicate with my babies, communicate with them before you pull out a belt. That's not what I did. As a parent, I pulled out a belt and asked questions later.
Can I ask a question to the room, even the young people? Don't get offended when I ask this question. When is it, please somebody give me an answer. When is it a good time to whoop a child?
I want the kids' answer.
I really want to know, when is a good time? I mean, Lele, you got an answer?
You got an answer, Lele?
Do they have a mic out there? I want to make sure we got mics out there. I need to know this because I have a thought on this.
I'm scared to know Lele answer.
When is a good time to whoop a child? To actually physically hit a child?
When do you think it is?
10.
When they turn 10?
Okay, that's an age.
That's the age.
But
No.
when is a good scenario? When is it a good scenario to physically hit a child? Sister Real, you got an answer, Kiana?
I feel as if when the child feels as if they can talk over me, or when they are really disrespectful, when they feel as if that they take control of the household. If they think that, oh, you know what, I'm grown, I can do this. Da, 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 da.
So you should take a belt out and physically hit them with the belt.
Physically?
Yeah, physically hit them with a belt.
Can you just smack their hand?
I'm trying to put some scenario here because if you, okay.
I think it's once their actions affect other people, you know? Like if they get up at the school and they're bullying a child, or they're like, say Lele and Madison's trying to beat up Lele. Like you gotta show them like, that's probably when you should probably whoop them.
When does an adult whoop a kid? Because like, I mean, from a toddler up, I smack your hand. But once you hit that,
Once you get talk, I'm sorry. You know something.
I just feel like after you've tried the gentle parenting, I've had a conversation with you about this once. I've given you time to correct it, and you still don't make the change. Then that's when I take other action. And
Gotcha.
I like that.
I haven't personally done that, but that's what was happening to me.
Gotcha. So that's what's happened. Anybody else got an opinion on when is it a perfect time? When is a good scenario? I want to know a specific scenario, but I like your opinion. But I want to know that this child did this, so it's time to bust their butt. You go ahead and give her the mic, Sister Real. Sister Real, I'm scared to hear what Sister Real got to say, because Sister Real is I think Brother Dez is scared of Sister Real still today. Ain't that right, Brother Dez?
I have two granddaughters, it's 3, and Miss London she's something else, right? When a child starts to comprehend what you're saying, and especially if they look back at you and smile and continue to do the same thing, it's okay to tap them on their behind.
Yeah.
Once a child starts to comprehend what they are doing, yes, get on their behind. It's okay.
So when do you pull out the belt?
That's the belt, right?
Oh, that's the belt. Okay, got it.
So my thoughts are, I may be wrong, and listen, everybody don't take my 60 seconds because it ain't enough, so, but this is what I'm going to say. It's about thinking about whooping, right? So I haven't whooped my children. I think the last time I whooped any of my children was Madison. She got in trouble at school. I went to the school when she was in Porter, picked it up, took it to the house, and I busted her butt, took her back to school. I think it's the last time I actually whooped Madison. But I think it's to the point to where, and this is me, that punishment should equal the offense, first of all. If you was talking at school or you get in trouble at school, maybe I'm going to take something away that's pleasurable from you to let you know that there's some repercussions from you getting in trouble at school. But I believe a child, as a child is coming up, needs to know that if I touch that electrical socket, it's going to hurt. So I'm going to have to give you pain to let you know that to save your life, I got to inflict some pain on you to let you know that the popping of the hand is way better than the electrical shock of the socket, right? or different things trying to rear them up, raise them up. But once that child, I'm like almost like Kiana, but I'm on the opposite side. Just my thoughts. When that child get to the point where they can comprehend, now it's time to start teaching them, and not as much whooping them. Because now you trained them, you popped them, and you related pain with the repercussion of your action. But now, I just really in my mind right now, I cannot think of a good scenario to chill my child to come in here. I'm finna wear your behind out.
I'm so opposite. Yeah, because I feel like there's a point in time where even let's say they get a certain age to where because I'm the parent and maybe I'm wrong, and YouTube, I hope they don't shut us off. But if you embarrass me in the store, I'm going to tear your butt up because I didn't taught you at home. But then when we get home, I'm going to get you again to remind you don't ever do that again in the store. Or I'm going to make sure that you already know before you go in the store that this is what we're not going to do. So I just believe in sometimes, depending on what a child did, I'm going to tear your tail up for that one.
Are you going to be mad while you do it? That's what I hate to see. Go ahead, Miss Jackson.
Turn the top and the bottom. Make sure the light on at the
Somebody
bottom.
help out.
Somebody help her.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna say I hate to see a parent whoop their child, and they going all in, like they whooping this child now for 20 things they did 2 months ago.
I did that, and that wasn't right.
That's not right.
That's not right.
But this is my thing. I heard you say loud disrespect. So I'm telling you, I've told you 4 times, baby, go wash them dishes. Baby, get up and clean your room. Get up and do this. Get up and do that. Are you still in the bed? Are you still looking at that phone? I'm finna get you now. I'm gonna get you because I've tried the gentle parenting thing and it didn't work. So now let's go.
Yep, I'm with you. I agree. I'm in
I
total
think I have to
agreement.
agree too, because
That to me, you loud, especially if you
But
on
I'm
your
not
phone.
gonna be mad when I do it though.
No, I'm gonna be a little hype because you loud disrespected me. But I'm not gonna whoop you. Now I used to whoop like I was hot. Whatever mood I was in, you was finna get it for all the other six things you did. Now that's not right. But I had to learn. Okay, yes, they gotta hear you on the mic.
The question is, like, what do you think about correcting your child?
Oh, we didn't went beyond that question.
Yeah,
Yes. Desmond, when he's disciplining Brian and London, what are your thoughts on that? Because I have tried to, and Des don't set me down. Yes, he has set me down, like mama, and I'm like, okay, because I do respect that, because those are his kids, right? So.
I just say this here, and I'm gonna say this, and my wife got a perspective, especially from a leadership perspective, right? I'm a firm believer that you delegate with authority, and I'm not gonna take that authority from you if I've given it to you. If that's the parent, I would say don't ever stop them in front of the child. Always talk to them on the back end and realize ultimately that's their child. But I would, like I say, be their advocate. Don't stop talking to them. Bring it to them, because you got to realize that they are now grown, but they think they know everything, but they need you to consistently explain to them why they shouldn't. And especially when you know for a fact you taught that to them.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
I'm scared for Brian.
She sounds scared for Brian. I know. I think it's the grandmother because I'm not a grandmother, so I don't know. But I think it may be because my mom did it with us, but she did it in front of the kids, and he's a man, so that can't, you can't do that. Like that's disrespect within your child. You got to do it behind the scene. Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say we raised 5 at one time. We have 7 between the two.
Hey, Devin, give a little volume in that mic right there.
I think it depends on the child too. Like I know we're off subject. I'm gonna get back to, but like out of the 5, 2 you had to tear up. They wasn't getting it until you tore it up. 3 you could sit down and talk. 1 never got a whooping her entire life.
Yeah.
1 at 19 just got a whooping. So I think sitting down, but
That's a fight.
Dang.
No, she got it. She might have been hobbling because she'd had foot surgery, but she got it. So I think it comes with that. But her mouth was disrespectful, so there's a limit. I would never hit her. I don't believe in hitting her either at a certain age, but your mouth gets that big and you walk away and you let your butt face me, sorry, that's getting what it's getting. But, and we have grandchildren, and I will say our son, he disciplines with put your hands out, and he's going to tell you what you did, and he pops the hands, and we don't, that was a little weird to us at first, but I'm with you. You respect them. But they're good. They get it. They learn it. And he's teaching them, hey, instead of me just hurting you with physical pain, and they're, 4 and 3? And he makes them repeat to them. Like, what are you getting this for? Anyway, so yeah, I'm like...
I just picture something. Like I said, I've never done this, right? I just picture something. I just picture Tyreek with my grandson getting on him in front of me, and I don't agree with it.
Oh, my God, I'm walking away.
That's going to be a tough day.
That's me, Brother Dave. Oh.
And the bad part, I used to be that guy, and I can imagine my mother-in-law like, dude, that's my grandchild. I'm like, that's my daughter. You know, we got a standoff here. But that's just, my mind went crazy. But no, this is something I think we want to create precedents. And we'll go to the next question because we do want to continue the straight talk. But I think the one thing that I learned today, and I think I always knew it, I think my kids have got so old to where now I've forgotten the importance of busting their butt. But I was just resurrected. I think Sister Jackson helped me out, and my wife, is that I do remember y'all reminded me of the anger that I felt, of that loud disrespect. So I think you got to, here we go. Thank you, Holy Ghost. You got to maintain authority in your home.
Right.
And the moment, listen, watch this. Watch this. It's very closely. You got to listen to this very close. The moment you lose authority in your home, not because you didn't have it in the first place and you just want to come there and be a bully, but the moment you had a standard and that standard was overlooked because outside influence or they want to try you, you have to bring that authority back in place. But make sure you don't do it out of anger. You do it out of necessity. I'm sorry. I don't want to whoop you, but you've proved to me in this moment in time that you're not going to listen to me.
Right.
I have to show you better than I can tell you this would not be acceptable in this house. And the moment that they think they can buck the system and they get old enough to get put out, let them. They think they want to go, let them go. And wherever they go, if they got an address in your family that they think they can go to, you got to tell them, don't you dare let them stay there.
Me and that family member going to have a problem.
Yeah. So I think that question's been beat up. Everybody give God some praise real quick on that question.
Next question. How do I encourage my child to drive when they have no interest in learning? How do I encourage my child how to drive when they have no interest in learning?
Don't take them where they want to go.
Somebody got their hand up in the back.
Go ahead, man of God.
How do I encourage my child how to drive? They don't have, I don't know, I ain't never had one that had no interest.
I didn't want to drive because I'll get in the car and I'll start driving and they'll be like, no, don't do that. Like everybody's jumping and I'm like, okay, I quit. I don't want to drive at all. So I didn't learn how to drive until I got to college. I got my own car and I started like learning a little bit. They taught me a little bit, but I really didn't learn until my freshman year. I got my own car and I said, okay, let me get in there and try to learn.
On your own?
On my own.
Wow.
They taught me like the basic steps, but they were nervous because of my driving, and I was nervous to get in the car with them because they were yelling at me. I know Leo, his nerves were shot, so he was like, I'm done.
Have you ever had an accident?
Have you ever
had an accident?
Several.
So y'all were rightfully nervous.
No, not while they were teaching me how to drive, but when I was trying to learn on my own, speedy,
You tow up too.
I told them too.
I hate to see your insurance bill.
So whoever asked this question, I'm gonna need you to learn how to drive before. I think Brother Rum's finna say
Go ahead,
something
Brother
in the back.
Ron.
Okay, this is what I did. When my son was, he was 16, and I was taking him around all the time, and I told him, I said, maybe you need to learn how to drive because I'm not going to be your chauffeur all the time. I think the fear that he had was the fast cars, the backing up, the parking, and all of that. So what I did, like at that time when I was with his mom, she was always nervous, you know, you got to stop. You got to do this. You got to do that. And a lot of times we put that pressure on them. They get really, really afraid. So what I did one Saturday morning, I sat them in the car. I said, now this is what we're going to do. I said, I want you to listen to me very carefully on everything that I'm telling you. And once you do that, I said, you're going to learn how to drive. So I took them out on the back road, and I told them, I said, now, this is what you do. That's what you do. And when I told everything that I told him, and I told him in a gentle way, he got it within 5 minutes. And he learned how to drive in 2 days, and he got his permit the following week.
Everybody, that's
I think
awesome,
he answered
man.
the question. Be gentle. But they got to learn how to drive.
And I add one more part, not just be gentle. Understand what you can, what you can't do.
Right.
My wife is not the one. She's not the one. My wife put my daughter out the driver's seat the other day, and I had a whole computer in my lap trying. She said, no, you. Now listen, she put my daughter out the driver's seat and put me in the driver's seat, and she's still in the back seat. So, but know what your abilities are, and if both of y'all can't, find someone in the family who can. Maybe a grandparent or whatever. Find somebody who can, but it's a necessity. The children know how to drive.
And it's needed, so, yeah.
And what we did, I never forget the first time we let Kiana drive on her own. We made her call us and put the phone on the dashboard on FaceTime. We was there with her the whole time. You know, we did that a few times, so we got comfortable with them going out by herself. Maddie finna have to start going on her own, and she's not ready yet. She's way away from that point. But when she does get to that point to where she got to go on her own, it's gonna be hard. But we gotta trust them. We can't put our fear on our kids. Say that again. Everybody say, we can't put our fear on our kids. That's religion, not relationship.
And I would say even if they act like they scared to drive, don't take them. Let them figure it out. How you gonna get to the stove? You figured it out. You can't ride with me. You gonna have to drive yourself to the stove.
We even make our kids, I'm saying real quick, we even make our kids when they get a certain age, I think 16, they make their own doctor's appointments. I don't make your doctor's appointments for you. I don't schedule your tooth cleaning. I don't schedule your eye appointments. We make you schedule it, and you got to take yourself to the eye appointment. The only reason I go to the dentist with you, they got to put you under. It's because we're trying to teach them how to have some responsibility before they get out the house. And before I know it, but them kids have been using the heck out that insurance now, but they go way more than we do.
I would say, and for those who are scared to drive in Houston, drop them off, or have them drop you off, put them on a loop, the ones that loop around Houston, and just tell them to get back to you. I found out that was the best way for her to learn the different roads to get through Houston.
That's cool.
That's a drop the mic. What?
She
they
dropped
drop
me
you
off, and I told her to go get on 610 and to make her way back to me. It took her a minute, but she learned the roads, and she learned the loops and stuff in Houston.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. Can I teach y'all? Can I teach y'all kids something else too? I don't know how many kids and got in the car with me, and every last one of them, even Tyreek, had the same problem. They don't know the difference between North 45 and 59, 610, I-10. I said, Tyreek, what side of town I'm in? He said, I don't know. I said, dude, we in Porter. What road we on? And Keon do the same thing, don't do the same thing? I don't know. I'm like, dude, do you know what? You got to know where you at. So if you get stuck right here, you can get back home. So I teach them the difference between, teach them the difference between 45 North, 45 South. Teach them that if you're in Cleveland, you're on the north side of 59. If you in the south side of Houston, that you're on the south side of 59. Let them know that they cross in the middle. Show them a map. Show them where 610 is, where Beltway 8 is. Show them where the Hardy Toll Road go in between. You don't realize how that much of information is not. Show them a difference between left and right.
Because, baby, we have those that drive, and they take their hands off the wheel.
They literally driving it. I said, turn left.
How you going to take your hand off the wheel and do this? Trying to figure out, am I going left or right?
And listen, teach them that Dallas is where?
No.
Galveston is where? That when you in San Antonio is where? West, and then you got, listen, Bowman, I-10 run where? Y'all know this. They don't.
They don't.
They don't want to learn. I've been trying to distance for the longest. As long as they have that Google direction.
Yeah, that's all they know. Yeah. We didn't have GPS. We didn't do that.
I never forget driving from Chicago home. It took me 2 days to open up a map and route how I was gonna get home. And then I had to pull over every so many miles to make sure I was on the same route. Yeah, they don't, in MapQuest, how many of them remember MapQuest? Printing out,
They don't know
you
nothing
remember
about that.
MapQuest? You too young for that.
Yeah, she remember MapQuest.
But please, y'all, I'm serious because I'm so afraid these kids are getting lost, phones die, and they don't know where they are. And what we don't know, we don't realize what the kids don't know. And I'll say this one last thing, I'll move on. I never forget the simplest things the kids don't know. Me and my children was upstairs in the office, and we didn't know if the phone bill got paid here at the church. And I asked my kids, I say, do me a favor, Kiana, see if the phone has a dial tone on it. And Kiana say, a what? I say, baby, let me know if the phone got a dial tone on it. She looked at it.
She picked it up.
She didn't. I say, Lana.
Oh, yeah. Lana picked
Come
it
here,
up.
Lana. I said, Lana, let me know if that phone got a dial tone on it. Lana say, I say, the life has changed. I say, hit talk on the phone. I say, put it to you. They say, you hear that buzzing sound? That's a dial tone. When you don't pay your bill, it ain't there.
But the crazy thing, we went out to eat. They asked somebody that was our waitress. She didn't know either. So you don't know what they don't know. So you got to be willing to teach them everything you know before you close their eyes, so they would know what you know. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to do that. Yes, ma'am. Uh-oh, somebody give up a mic so they can hear online. Okay.
So we're at the store, and they didn't have the boy pants in the store, so I said, just ship them to me. And she said, what's your address? I said, P.O. Box 159. She said, how do you write that?
I'm done.
I asked Madison for a signature. Y'all, teach your children how to write a signature. A signature. Cursive, I won't say as far as cursive, because cursive is literally is becoming obsolete. But at least let them say, give them a signature, because what she wrote wasn't even English.
I was like, what is that?
And it wasn't even a signature. It was handwriting, but they don't teach them how to write in school anymore either.
Yeah.
So we have to listen. We cannot wait. This every time I go outside, this is what I do. Parents, straight talk. Everybody say straight talk. This is what I do. My daughters will tell you this here. Every time I go outside and I think about something I'm about to do, and I know for a fact I didn't teach them, I say, "Come here, girls. Let me show you how to do this." And I teach them how to check their battery posts. I'm just doing this. I don't act like I've been doing this all the time. I'm just not doing this here. How do you open a door? How many of y'all know y'all can open a door? Look on the side of your door in the driver's side and see how much air pressure should be in your tires. And how much the kids don't. And we don't think about this stuff. These things that we take for granted, let's teach our kids. I'm sorry, baby.
Next question. What do you do when going to a new school like high school? Oh, we got some ninth graders that are about to go to ninth grade. We got a statement over here.
Anybody but want give the kids a chance to answer this one, because I ain't been to school in a long time.
You got a mic? Oh, he told you to come up?
One of y'all just give the answer, and if anybody else want to add to it.
I mean, I switched halfway through high school, so I was lucky enough to do sports, and my sports started before school started, so I had friends before school started. But I would say, respectfully, leave your friend groups. Not leave them like, I'm not talking to you forever, but like try and venture out of your friend groups, because I don't even remember the people I was friends with in middle school. So try not to restrict yourself and be like, well, my friend group's doing this, my friend group's playing basketball, so I'm going to play basketball, but I really want to play this sport. Like, try and find your own identity without those people, you know? Try and do that instead of trying to stay so close with these people, not knowing that, like, y'all are probably not going to be friends at the end of high school, end of freshman year even. So, like, try new things.
That's good. Yeah. Yes, sir. Uh-oh.
One thing I wish I'd have knew is when you're going into high school, you're preparing, your life starts there.
That's true.
Nobody told me. I didn't think about college till I was sitting in the senior graduation chair.
Yeah.
Period. Nobody told me to get C's and play sports. No, sports don't mean nothing when you get to college and you ain't took care of your books.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
I mean, nobody told us that, especially in
Right.
Cold Spring. They just want you to get a C so you can play sports.
ball,
Once
yep.
it's over, see you later.
Yep.
So focus on your studies, respect others, treat others well, conduct, all these things that the D1s that my baby want to go to, they watching all that. They watching your conduct. They want to see your grades. They want to see how you treat people. And most of all, love the Lord along the way.
Right. I love
That's
it.
good. That's good.
Good
What is it?
answer.
You know, I say this.
We got.
I'll say this to the parents. So I have three beautiful daughters, but I got two beautiful daughters that I wish I would have had more investment in. Now, Madison, she naturally became a keyboard player without my permission. I mean, how she did that, I don't know how it happened. And she naturally just started evolving. She loved basketball. So Maddie's doing what she loves. She's not doing what everyone else is doing. Maddie literally doing what she loves, and I'm proud of that. But I say, parents, stop letting your kids go with the flow of their friends. It's two things I regret today, and I told them this years ago. I said, babies, stop playing basketball. Get out of sports. Leave it alone. Kiana had the greatest gift of dance and creating choreographic dance and stuff like that. I said, baby, leave sports alone and just go in doing dance. But she wouldn't. She kept following her friends. She just told me what that this past week, she said, Dad, I really wish I would have listened to you. Alana, I said, Alana, do not play sports. I know you like volleyball, but baby, you need to go and get into debate. You are an activist at heart. You stand firm. You could be the next politician. I say, sweetheart, you need debate. Do you wish now you would have took some debate classes? She should have took debate.
See, that was her debate right there. You saw it?
We went, as a little kid, I never forget this, little kid, Lana could have been like 10 years old. We went to Washington, D.C., and there was a group of Christians standing in a circle. They was picketing an area. People was every bit of everything besides just spitting on them. And we went up to them as fellow Christians, and we shook their hands. We loved on them. And Lana went with me. I think my wife, because I wanted to encourage them. My wife and Kiana and Maddie stayed back, but me and Lana went up there, and she just followed me. And then we took like 10 steps away from them. She said, no, Dad, we need to go back and stand with them. We should not leave them there by themselves. They need our support. And that's the kind of mindset she always had. But I let volleyball suck all that up because I wanted to be in the gym and cheer for my child. So listen, you can't make them, but tell them, okay, you're going to do this, still do this. Don't take one from them, but encourage them that our kids is bigger than a sport ball. The systems are known to put balls in their hands and build them up until they don't need them again, which I've always said is a modern day slavery. Is no different than going out there and you watch one of those combine sports complexes. They do no different than they do horses. There's racing. And when your horse go bad, what they do, take them in the back and they shoot them. There's no different. We need to tell them a ball is something you do and have fun while you're getting your education. It's not the only thing you get instead of education. So just see your children as bigger than a sport because they need you to, because they're not big enough, old enough, or wise enough to tell you what they want to do. Let them do what they want, but give them something they need as well, all right? Life is bigger than that. Give a different language. Every child, that's what I wish I would have done. Every child need to take a Spanish and learn it real. Stop just cheating through it. Latins, nothing. Stop, Clyde.
Bishop kind of said what I was going to say. I only played one sport, and I did everything else. Honor Society, Student Council, whatever it was, you can name it. So that's what I would say. Don't focus so much on sports. Focus on other things as well, because that helps build your character. The other thing that I learned as a freshman is that your freshman year, those are the grades that make the most difference. Like, you think about, you have, 7 classes as a freshman? So all 7 of those classes, that's all you have on your GPA. The more you go through high school, the more you get more classes, the less they start to count. So I think I had like 2 B's that freshman year, and that put me back. I made A's all the rest of my high school career, and I still didn't graduate number 1 or number 2 because of what I did as a freshman. So you may not think that your freshman year matters, but I think it matters more than any other year, simply because you don't have all of those classes to help you weigh it out at the end. If that makes sense.
That's good.
Yeah, take the first year serious. I'm not saying don't take the other years not serious, but definitely take your freshman year serious.
And I challenge every parent. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I challenge every parent to ask your child, did you go part of the student council? Ask them if they tried student council. Ask them if they tried UIL. Ask them, because a lot of kids don't even think about stuff like that. But to me, student council was the greatest thing I did. Honor Society was the greatest thing I part of. UIL, it's just so many other things out there we need to ask our kids and just, because you can't push them, but at least ask them about it and get them involved in it and watch them grow and flourish.
Not to knock what y'all were saying about sports, but for me, as going into high school, I know Shaky and Leo, if you don't have A's and B's, you're not playing any sports. And with that, sports to me it helped me get through school, because I felt like if I didn't do sports, I really wouldn't care about the school. I love school, don't get me wrong, I love ELA. ELA is my subject, but like the math and the social studies, I could care less. And so they were like, I know I was struggling with my social studies, and they were like, you got to get this together or you're not going to play sports. So for me, sports was my motivation.
That's good.
That is good.
That's good.
Anybody else? Anything else you want to add? All right, next question.
Next question. Parents listen to, okay, when and how can I have my parents listen and hear me out? Good question.
I'm going to let one of my girls answer that question because they do a good job of making me sit down and shut up.
Right. Oh, Maddie got the mic.
Go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead, Maddie. You sure know how to do it.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I feel I can have my parents listen to me by having to sit down and be like, can you just hear me out this time? Don't speak, just don't speak at all and let me talk. And then, because basically sometimes I do want to talk to them when, say we were going to school shopping Friday. I wanted to at least talk, but it wasn't the time or the place because Dad was mad, you were mad. I was like, yeah, I'm going to leave it alone.
I'll tell you why we was mad. Y'all heard of BOGO, right? Buy one, get one half off.
This ain't the time. This too fresh.
Have y'all ever heard of buy one, buy 3 for 3? You ever heard buy 3 for 3? 3 pair of shoes for $300?
Okay, but thank you. Okay, so listen. When you have shopped, okay, for my mothers out there that got more than one kid, you done shopped for 3 kids for the longest, and all you got is 1? Baby, go in there with it. What you want? Go on again, get what you have to get, and it was 50% off. Put your hands down.
Of what?
Them two been going at it. They won't let it go.
I was hotter than fish grease that y'all passed on Friday.
My thing was she wanted some kind of brand. I don't know these brands, but I'm like, she's a good kid. She made good grades. Maddie, I remember have to go up to the school and take Maddie out and beat her tail because she done told somebody off, a teacher, off at the school. I remember that kid to where she's transformed. So I'm like, you deserve it. Okay, go ahead.
Can I please?
Go.
Can I please, Mama? Let me please.
No.
I'm not gonna brag or anything, but I had all A's for 2 years straight. I ain't never shopped at Foot Locker. It was Payless Shoe Carnival. That was it.
Now I can't say this, right? I will say this. I want Brother Leo. I will say this here, and I'm gonna say this here as humble as I can. We were broke when we was raising y'all.
That's how I felt. I'm like, man, we was barely making it. You better be glad you got a pair of shoes.
Man, it just happened to come through when it was a little extra in the account. And we were so broke, boy. We was like, we got depressed 3 times a year. We got depressed for Christmas. We got depressed for school to start back. Man. Then we got depressed for summer. Who bought summer clothes?
Man, it was
summer clothes is what you wore for school, and then now you cut the pants off and they become shorts. That's summer clothes.
Brother Devin, when I say they ate me up, it was a whole family gathering.
Hey, look, one of my niece gonna call me and try to justify and say, well, you never heard of what's that app where you pay?
Afterpay.
You finance the shoes? Who?
They don't put interest.
Why would I finance? Nothing's gonna make me back money.
Anyway, baby.
Leo has something to say real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Where the mic is so they can hear him online. I hope y'all enjoying online. Make sure you like and share all that great stuff.
So this has been a sore spot in the family of the Harden home.
Yes, it has. It's been so.
Yep.
Wait, what did he say? I missed it. What did he say? Huh?
What makes it a good deal? And then, hold up. Before you answer the question, I'm going to give you a little bit more to add to that. Because what Maddie going to do is wear flip-flops to school all year. I swear to God, this year, she walked out the house with them flip-flops on.
And she got one pair of pants.
She's gonna wear everything the first week of school, all her shoes, all their clothes. I'm talking about my kids and both that out them. They're gonna wear all that little new stuff, and then after they wear them shoes once, it's gonna be back to the Crocs. Then they're gonna put them in sports mode so they don't get in trouble. And then you just spend.
If she do that, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in her closet. I'm gonna bend them jokers all up and put creases all up in them.
Bishop. So what made it a good deal? I don't know. I have no answer.
Listen, Pastor T is the wrong person to go shopping anywhere.
So no, I don't know. I'm not gonna even play like I know.
She felt good that I can buy
I
my
felt
child
good.
$300 worth of shoes.
Wait, now she paying me back because she didn't work.
One of them.
For one pair of shoes. What was the name of the shoes? Because everybody was in the store getting them.
That don't
Dunks.
mean nothing.
Dunks. I was like, and she got, what's the other one? The green ones. Air Force One, whatever. What's the name? I don't know. But she got that. So I only bought 2 pair of shoes, Sister Dendra, but they making it seem like I bought 3. So I got
So
1 and 1 half
2 for
off.
200.
She's a sneakerhead. So, it's like she deserve it. Yeah, and I felt good.
So
I was like, baby, I was able to buy $200 pair of shoes.
So I will say this here. I'm not going to apologize. I won't apologize the fact that we are in a better condition to buy those shoes because I know y'all driving cars. Don't play.
Don't play. And you got a brand new one. Don't play.
So next, go ahead back. And they do pay their car note.
Y'all, they ate me up. When I say they ate, and they pay their own car note, praise the Lord.
Notes.
They work to pay it.
Yeah.
I pay insurance, which is worse than a car note.
I want to add to this.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
This is a good topic here. When my son, he that type of dude, he think he has an image, I gotta have this image. So when I used to go shopping for him, we would go to the store and I know about them, them K-Swiss and all that other stuff too.
Do they wear K-Swiss anymore?
And sketches and all that other stuff. But I'm up on the new shoes too because I like tennis shoes myself. But I would tell him, I said, look, I got a budget. This is the budget. Now, this is what I can do. And I told him, I said, now if you want more, then you got to do more.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
you want more, you have to do more. So he got the understanding that, that old saying that money don't grow on trees, which it don't. And if you got a budget that you have to set, and this is what you can do, I taught him. I said, this is what I can give. This because it was 2 of them, and then it's kind of funny because yesterday my daughter called. I don't have any clothes. I don't have nothing. I don't have this. I don't have that. My mom don't have this. I said, look, I'm gonna send you $200, and then I'm gonna send you $200 more in 2 weeks. Work with it.
That's all you can do.
That's
All you
it.
can do.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure that I don't lose sight because I got a conviction of the Holy Ghost because that was a very important question, and we lost sight of how important this question was, getting caught up on the shoes. But Maddie brought up a good point. She said that I wanted to talk to Mom, but I couldn't because there was tension in the environment, and even though I know that she do find space, we got to realize that our kids do want to talk to us, but there are tension. In the picture of you coming home, tension. You going to work, tension, and you never leave room for your children to talk. I think that's good important. So what I would tell you is that children, in all the times, children, all y'all children, listen. CC, Paige, Kamaya, Y'all are the main ones in that age group that's very important. Any other children in that age, I want y'all to hear me out, is that you got to realize is that every level there is disrespect, there is also a way to have respect. And so you can respectfully ask for eartime. You can respectfully tell the best way my children put me in my place is when they respectfully tell me that I offended them. They respectfully tell me, you don't make room for us. You want to hurt your mama feelings? Want to hurt your daddy feelings? Respectfully tell them the truth. Respectfully. Not in front of your friends, not trying to prove a point, not trying to get something. You're trying to hurt their feelings. Say, my daughters told me before, they said, Dad, I'm going to tell you right now, it hurts that your expectation for us is so high, but your grace for us is so low. That hurt. That I have great expectation, but little grace. And so children, you want to talk to your parents, be mature enough to go to them with an open heart and open mouth and share with them, number one, not just what you want from them, how you feel when they do certain things. That's how you touch a parent's heart, the way you get to them, talk to them. Tell them how they make you feel. Mama, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. Daddy, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. I can't make you happy all the time, but I can address your feelings, all right? So I want to share it to y'all young people. Please use that as a tool in your toolbox.
Next question.
Do you think it's okay to ask your adult children personal questions? Yes. I think so. I ask personal questions.
Because what is adult? I'm not asking a question for answer. I just realized at 44 that I'm not grown yet. I thought I was grown. I don't know what adult is anymore. And adult to me is you have enough wherewithal to handle all your issues without anybody help. I hadn't got there yet. I still need help. And so you wrong if you shut up too soon.
Oh.
And you wrong if you talk so loud they don't want to hear you.
Right.
It is your job to find the right octave for every child to keep allowing yourself to have room to teach them when they need to be taught. So no, that's not a wrong question. That's not wrong to do. You got to keep your mouth open.
Yeah, and there ain't nothing wrong with asking the question. And guess what? They don't have to answer. It'd be up to them if they want to answer. Next question. When do you know it's God's working and not the devil?
That's a good question.
That is.
I love this question. I love this question. But for me to give this answer, I need y'all to pay close attention because this is, to me, one of the most valuable questions in the whole entire world right now. Is this here. First of all, it's not always the devil. Let me get that straight. A lot of times it's just you. The devil, matter of fact, I think the devil is on the beach somewhere drinking Mai Tai and enjoying life because he don't have to do much work anymore. Because we do enough demonic attacks to our own self where he don't have to. Like, dang, this culture is just easy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the reason, I would say number one, you know if it's, let's say, not God. Let's start with that. How do you know it's not God versus God? Number one, I found that in my life. Your life may be different, but I'm going to kind of give you my perspective. Is when I want it from external influences. When I wanted it from external influences. Externally, I saw it. I had nowhere in my thought of mind at all, but now I saw it and I want it. Number one. Number two, I have to compromise who I am to get it. I have to compromise who I am to get it. And so that's the two things that always, to me, is a good indicator that that's probably not from God. I know when it's God, number one, when it comes from me in my heart and I don't want it. God very rarely asks you to go after something you do want. He'll put it on your heart to do it, and you'll feel like you don't deserve it. You feel like you don't qualify for it, and i.e., that's where the struggle begins. Because now I have to change who I am and where I am to get it. God never rewards stagnation. So he never will give you what you want where you are. He will always ask you to transition to another level to get it. So you will always know, for me, this is how I am, and maybe it's different for somebody else. But when God puts something on my heart to do something that I don't want to do, and it's going to cost me who I am and where I am to get it, almost 99.9% of the time, it's God. The other time, it's my wife. Because she always challenged me sometimes to do better. And it's probably what God told me to do already, but now she saw it, and she's my accountability partner to push me beyond it. So this is the way I feel it. You got something different you want to say?
You said it.
So I think that's key. We need to realize if we always seeking out what we saw, I tell people this, and you can write this down. And I tell people this in the Lion's Den. I say this here, that if you chase paper, your purpose will change. If you chase purpose, the paper will find you. If you're always trying to find paper, you will try a new business every week.
Every week.
A new business, a new opportunity, new this. So if you're always chasing opportunity, just opportunity, you always gonna be doing something different. But if you're trying to be purposeful, God will graduate you to the next opportunity, It'll be a straight line. It won't be all over the place.
Right.
All right? That's a little bit of wisdom I got on that.
Yeah. Next question. Should you be worried about growing up and have to make your own decisions?
Wow. Who's here? Let me see. I think you're probably one of the most qualified person that can answer that question. Who's here else in her age group? How old are you, Miss Amisha? I don't tell your age, but age bracket. 29. So she's 29. I got anybody between 25 and anybody 20. Des. I want Des to answer this question from a young man perspective, and I want you to answer from a young lady perspective. I don't think there's another young man that's younger than him in here. And Carlos, if you got some wisdom you want to throw in there too, because I think that you have a lot of wisdom as a young man that's between 29 and what you about? You ain't 40 yet, are you?
They said it's her birthday today.
Whose birthday? Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
It's crazy because it's actually part of my message today. Should you be worried about growing up? I always look at it as people talk about, I don't want to get old. If you're not getting old, you're dead. So I never get that. So I never worry about growing up because it's going to happen. I used to hear Apostle Ivy Hilliard say, you're going to live in the future. You may as well live in the future that you planned.
Oh, I like that. That's good. If you're going to live in the future, you might as well live in the future that you plan. It's kind of what I talked about on Sunday. On Thursday. Own your future so your future don't own you.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I always look at it. I don't worry. I don't get anxious about it because I learned to see God in everything. So if I'm seeking him, if I believe that I'm hearing his voice, says the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So if I'm hearing from him, I'm believing that he's ordering my steps, and that's what takes out the worry. And then having to make your own decisions. Again, you're living in the future that, you're living in the future, so live in one that you plan for. And when you are filled with the Holy Spirit, he helps with your decision making. So will you always make the right decisions? No. But when you learn from them, then that helps you make a better decision the next time.
That's good. Go ahead and preach, girl. You're going to do good this evening.
I love it.
Brother Dez, I want to hear some wisdom from you, Brother Dez. You got to get him. Okay, you got a mic? And then good Brother Carlos, he's one of the older, between 40 and 30. Carlos. Who older, Carlos or Dez? Who older? Okay, I thought so. Go ahead. If I'm putting you on the spot, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm
going to put you on the spot?
You know you putting him in.
You want to talk right now? Okay. Somebody else in his age group. Because I respect him. I respect his moves. When I say that, because from young men, it's hard to get young men to always hear from another young man. Me and Brother Leo, we done got old. But he's still kind of in that young age. But Des, you speak on his behalf too. I think you got enough closeness to him to be able to share. And Devin, if you got something you want to share, please. I think we need to start talking more about this topic because these young folks thinking it's all the social media posts. And then when they get there and they see the real world, they realize, oh, wow, this ain't easy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brother Des.
To be honest, I can actually agree with her, and then I also can agree with you. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, but you know.
I know, just now, I've been off social media for 2 years.
Wow.
Because it had me, so in tune with the world, and I'm like, why do I need to worry about what everybody else got going on when I need to worry about myself? I need to build myself. You know what I mean? So one thing that I can tell these kids these days, don't feed off into social media. You know what I mean? Because social media can take you off the path that you want to complete in your future. You know what I mean? So
that's wisdom. I thank you for sharing that. Everybody give Brother Des and I want to apologize, Brother Carlos. My wife whooped my butt. I'm sorry I put you on the spot. I'm bad about that. You just got to forgive me. Just know I love you.
He respects your wisdom, though, Carlos.
Do.
He do.
Brother Devin, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'm with Brother Dez, bro. One of the biggest things I feel like growing up was me losing myself, trying to appease the emotions and the feelings and everything else of somebody else. So be who you are. Be confident in who you are. You know who your parents raised. You know who God has called you to be, honestly. Even at your young age, we know that God, hey, this is who I am. This is who I am. So if you be who you are and stand on God's grace, stand in God's word, stand on his path, like Lamisha said, bro, you're good. You just need to know that, hey, I'm making this decision. I'm not making bad decisions for something that's gonna affect me later. You know what I'm saying? You always got to think about it in the back of your mind. So as far as worry, I wouldn't worry because that's what your faith is for. That's what your faith is for. So one of the main things is don't try to please everybody around you. Don't try to please your friends. Don't try to make them feel better about what you got going on. Worry about yourself first. Worry about your family. Worry about God, and then you good. You green. You good to go.
And I'm going to add this to the parents this here. This is one thing I'm learning now. Allow your children to be reckless at the comfort of your security. I'm saying it again. Allow your children to be reckless at the comfort of your security. I wasn't able to be reckless. Most of the kids who graduated my age, you had to grow up fast. You had to hurry up, get on your feet, get out the house. Most people graduated from 90 to 2005. We graduated on one day and moved out either the week before or the week after. We had to hurry up and get on, and so we couldn't afford to be reckless. So we couldn't risk very much. Well, now I want my children to be, I tell my daughter, I want her to get a house that she don't move in and move somebody else in it. I didn't get that luxury. But if she can get a house right now and finance her first house and let somebody else move in it, why does she got to get it? She got a place to live right now. This young lady here, Ms. Legans, had 2 rental properties and still stayed home with mama. That's reckless at the comfort of her mama's security. We got to start pushing our kids to push the envelope and tell them, we got you. Now, don't go out there and do nothing stupid and buy no stupid car and wreck it and do something stupid like that, but go out there and do something you never thought that you could do before. Be fearful. Go out there and try things. Daddy and mama got you. We're going to take care of you. If you take care of your credit, you take care of your name, you start doing stupid stuff, I'm going to cut you off. I'm not going to do that for you no more. But if you make a mistake falling forward, Daddy going to pick you up and dust you off and say, keep on doing it again. You can always come back home. You never leave a house you can't return to. This is your house. This is your home. You can bring your family back here. If they, truth be told, I want to build a house so big that they all can live here with me forever. And this is not control. This is wisdom. You look at Greenleaf and stuff like that. People do this all the time, but we teach our children to go out there and create debt. Baby, let us be your debt. Yeah. My kids don't have any college debt. Right now, I got one of them on a college debt, but Daddy going to pay that debt. You will not go into this civilization and get into a rut that I can't pay you out of. Because why? That's the old mentality. So all of us got to realize, listen, when my child about to graduate, I had the worst credit in the world. I used to laugh about my credit. Baby, I'm glad you got good credit. My credit jacked up. I let all y'all mess my credit up. But then I started thinking about it. My child is going to have to go ask her pawpaw for credit. She's going to have to ask her nana for money because I'm broke, don't have good credit, and I'm pastoring the church. How did that happen? And when she about to graduate, I say, you know what, Clyde, stop. Your child's about to graduate, and if you don't find a place for her to go, she going to be forced to do like you did and hurry up and find something because you're not positioned to support her desires. The first time my child went and got her first car, Daddy was able to co-sign for her. I cried because I finally positioned myself to be a support to my child. So every parent, position yourself to let your child be reckless at the comfort of your security.
All right. 4. Okay, let's go. How do I ignore annoying people? What?
I ignore
annoying people. Well, first of all, you're going to have to deal with people, period. No matter what you do, where you at, you got to deal with people. And the thing with annoying people, you got to figure out what I'm going to have to learn from this annoying person. Because you never know. You never know if you got to get on a job. You never know if you got to start a business. And now your employee is annoying, right? So you never know what it's going to be like. You got to deal with people. You cannot do life without people. You got to have people in your life to do life. Why? Because, man, you're able to multiply in so many ways. And you don't want to just, everybody's annoying, but you may be a little bit annoying too. There's something about you that somebody don't like. Oh, you thought you was likable. Yeah, there's something about each one of us that somebody can't stand. But here's the thing, is learning how to use the tool that annoying person have that you could do to be able to make them better. All right?
And I add this is realize too, no matter how annoying they are, they can't affect your progress.
That part.
Just let them say what they're going to say, what they do, what they're going to do, but they can't affect you.
They can't affect you. And then you got to ask yourself, I want to ask this too. You got to ask yourself, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, what I've learned over the years for me is finding out why I feel like they're annoying, why they're ignoring me.
That's good.
Like, try to execute that problem in my head. Like, hey, why do I find this so annoying? And why is that such a problem with me that I get irritated, because at the
That's
end of the
good.
day, I don't want no irritation with nobody, honestly. But if they're annoying, there's something, you know what I'm saying, some possibly self-inflicted that's, you know what I'm saying, that's part of healing yourself and the therapies and, you know.
I
That is
love
good,
it.
because some children find their parents annoying.
Yeah, they do.
And the reason why they're annoying because they're actually pushing you out of your comfort zone. That is good. Thank you for sharing that, Brother Devin.
I love it. What is one of the hardest choices you had to make as a parent? What is one of the hardest choices you've had to make as a parent? I ain't see no hand raised. Yeah, and I think I got one. Yes.
I'll say for me, one of the hardest things I had to do is with my oldest son. I wanted them to have a godly mate. You know what I'm saying? Because when I see you guys, children, right, your young ladies, you can tell that their love for God is genuine and that they're walking that thing out. And so my kids, especially others, he got him a woman now. And it prevents him from doing the right thing. Like he started missing church, you know, he's catering to her because he see me do that with his mother. So he's catering. I'm like, hey man, that's not your wife. And it made me so mad. And my wife say, hey, you have to let him make that decision, you know, respect him and love him. But that was one of the hardest things, like pushing myself back from him and letting him just learn, hey, you have to go through this and you're going to find out, because that first girl you got, that ain't going to be the, you know, you're going to get another one. But that's one of the hardest things, like pushing back as a dad. You know?
That's good. Yeah, I got mine.
Go ahead.
Mine is kind of like that too, but like, because Riri, she's a married woman, and Leo had to tell me quite a few times to stay out of it. Like when you can see that she didn't really understand, because I didn't always understand that I was his prize, I was his good thing. He obtained favor because he found me. And trying to get her to understand that you are his good thing, and he should treat you as such. And I wanted to say so much, but Leo wouldn't let me, but that was hard for me. And if she brought it to me, that was my opportunity. But if she didn't say anything about her marriage to me, I tried to stay out of it, and that's hard.
I think we're going to have to build a relationship between us so that we won't get, and you won't, and we can just come to each other and just pray together.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't even there yet, so it's hard. Yeah, I would say me, when the hardest thing that I've ever had to do as a mother was to apologize for, I would never forget the day I did something to my child, and it was a disciplinary action, and we laugh about it today, but it wasn't funny at the time, because I had put my hands around her neck, and I had to realize that as a mother that I needed to apologize. That was the hardest thing, because when you are the superior, or you are the, you know, you're the alpha, or you're the parent, and for the parent to turn around and apologize because I went too far, like that, that's a hard thing. And if you've never been there, you don't understand, because it's something to go to your child and apologize and praying that they can forgive you for what you just did, right? So the hardest thing for me was to go and apologize. And now, even in my now, because I have young girls, and so I have to find myself apologizing for something that I knew that I didn't want my mama to do to me, and I don't want to do to my kids, and not realizing that I believe that it was the beginning of our relationship as mother and daughter, because I apologized. I was wrong, I messed up, and I wanted her forgiveness. I didn't just apologize to apologize. No, I want your forgiveness. It's something about wanting your child's forgiveness for the mistake you made, right? So that was the hardest thing. It took me about 5 days to go and apologize, because I put my hands around my daughter's neck. That was too far. That's abuse, y'all. That's going too far. So I had to find a way to figure out how to have a conversation. And I went to him and I'm like, man, I'm wrong. I was convicted. What happens when God convicts a parent? You know, I'm convicted. I gotta fix this. I gotta make this right. And I went and had a conversation. And one thing about a child, and every parent hear me, they love you in your mess. They love you when you do wrong. They still gonna love you. And there's nothing wrong. I wish my parents would come and apologize for some crap they did. They still sit with me at 40, man. That crap still sit with a kid that you done and you never sat down and said, I'm sorry. But no, sweep it under the rug. Get over it. That was back. The devil is a lie. Man, we in counseling for crap that you done to me that you never said sorry for. Besides, get over it. Keep moving. No, man, you be the one that break the generational curse with your children by saying, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Mama shouldn't have done that. I never do that no more, baby. You don't ever have to worry about that. That was the hardest for me. Yes, sir.
Not saying you're wrong for apologizing, but what did they do to? Now I don't want to know the answer. I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
What did they do to push you to that level? You know what I mean?
It at the time it was loud disrespect.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, it was.
I'm your parent. You have to respect me. If you can't respect me, how you gonna respect elders in the world that are instructing you as well?
But my thing was in that time, and I get exactly what you're saying. But my thing was I was too angry. I used my anger of what you did versus having a conversation with you that went too far, and I put my hands on you to a point to where I'm talking about I'm choking you to where I'm about to take your breath away. Like that's too far. I was angry. I didn't walk away and think about it. I made a decision in an instant. I didn't think about my decision. I didn't move in that. I wasn't thinking. And I treated you like a girl on the street versus my daughter. That was a difference for me.
But are you being respected as a parent? I'm
So,
not saying you're wrong.
no, I'm gonna say this.
No, that's good. I like that dialogue.
But what I'm gonna say is that to her, what she had to realize is how she get the respect. She had to make sure that the way I get the respect, that I can keep the respect after I get it.
After I get it,
because and it was the thing, like, because my wife, she has a hard way of trying to prove she's 0 to 1,000, and then she regret later where she should be saying, no. Let me take this time and think about
Y'all know I got kicked out the stove in Point Blank the other day.
Yeah, we only got one gas station we can go to in Point Blank now.
And I'm ashamed. And you know I can talk about it now. I was fresh when Bishop talked about it in front of everybody in that den. I'm like, don't put my business out there in the street.
I'm a ride or die husband, so I'm right there.
But I didn't went off in the whole store. They about to call the cop. The first lady of New Destiny. I went to 0 to nothing, like trying to launch at
But
this
the
dude.
guy disrespected her.
Girl, they kicked me out.
But he had the authority that she didn't have, and so I had to make sure I stay calm because you only got so many times you're gonna disrespect my wife, so I will be in jail, passing off.
But my thing
how
is,
many know you
even
can pass staying in jail. Yeah, I just want you to know that.
I would just say, even in that, I gotta watch. I gotta pay attention to my temper, to how I move. Like, but to do that to your kid, I felt like I was. And at the time, she was 11. She was 11, so I'm treating you like you 23. Like, we forget putting a belt on you. I went too far, and I had. This is the thing. You got to know as a parent, what is your too far.
And hold up, and sometimes we do to our kids what we can't do to other folks. You really want to choke somebody else, but she was the closest thing to you. So, I'm gonna say, you got someone talk about that on that point?
Oh, Keon. Oh, I want to hear.
I want to say something real quick on the thing that I did as a hard choice, real quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, go get a mic. No,
Key.
you go first. Get a mic.
Huh? Oh, Brother Derek has something. Go ahead.
Yeah. The hardest thing I've ever had to do as a parent is a few. One, like you did, apologizing because I have roughed my boys up and pinned them against the wall and.
See, boys different. No, I'm
ready to fight. Even with my daughters, not put my hands on them, but got in their face like they was somebody on the street. Another thing was like with my son getting a divorce and coming out and saying that he liked men, you know what I mean? So I had to learn to accept that and let him come to my house, which is totally against anything that I believe and wanted to do at the time, but I realized that I had to show love and give grace and mercy where it was needed at the time, and hopefully in due time it'll bring him back, from that reprobated mind. So that was really one of the most hardest things, because I wasn't raised that way. I don't believe in it. So it's been a struggle. At times I want to be like, hey man, don't come over right now, but that's my son. And so I have to, love him. And the last thing is allowing my baby girl to go 4 hours away to college and be away from me, and I can't, Yeah. So that's been, 3 of the hardest things for me.
That's huge. Thank you for sharing, Brother Derek. That's huge. Everything you said can be unwrapped in a whole different lesson. I think that discussion needs to be talked about amongst the brothers also. How do you handle that? Because a lot of people don't talk about it and it don't stop it. So thank you. Everybody give Brother Derek a hand clap for being so open about it. Go ahead, Sister Sherelle.
Is this on?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get the apology. I don't have a problem saying I'm sorry, I apologize or whatever. Pastor, you already know the last things with my daughter, which I didn't apologize, but we are talking or whatever, right?
Gotcha.
But I think it's very important for a parent to let their child know, like, I don't like saying I'm sorry, but I apologize, right?
Yeah.
Right? For the simple fact, being a parent, you're making that child think that you are above all, like you do no wrong. So therefore, for me to tell one of my kids, I apologize, to my grandkids, I apologize, just to let them know, like,
I make mistakes too. Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's good. I give us some praise as well, because wisdom, I don't co-sign a lot of people's wisdom because I don't know how great it is, but I trust Sister Sherelle's wisdom, and she has a lot to share. So definitely want to let you know she has a lot of wisdom that she can share through parenting, a lot of wisdom. I want to let you know the most thing. Okay, go ahead, Kiana.
I want to say with the situation that me and my mama had, I feel like in that moment I needed to get choked because it was a back and forth.
Co-sign getting choked?
No, it's because it was like a back and forth conversation, and it was just like to the point of where I hung around my friends too much, where I was like, since they raised their voice to their parents, I could raise my voice to my parent. And it was like basically, well, mama, I said, and that's when she choked me up. And I felt like in that moment, I needed that, because if not, if she would have allowed that to happen, it would probably been arguments after arguments to the point where I would probably get kicked out when I was 17, 16. But when she came back, of course, we didn't speak. I was scared of her. I was scared of walking around her. That was the thing afterwards. Like, I always was timid. I was like, ooh, I don't want to say one word. I don't want to, like, we didn't talk to each other for about a good couple
that's
days.
what made me apologize, was because how she was acting towards, she became fearful, she became scared of me, and I didn't want her to not want to say anything to me.
And when she came to apologize, I was surprised, because I was like, when she walked in the room, I was like, okay, all right. And then she said, Kiana, I'm sorry.
People go to jail for that, you know, right? I know.
No, but the way she said sorry, though, she's like, I'm sorry, I'm not apologizing for choking you because you deserve that, because the fact that you crossed that line of, like, I had to earn her respect back. But when she basically said, Kiana, that just highlighted a moment of, this is my mother, this is not my friend. This is the person that raised me. Like, I don't want to ever disrespect her like that, because maybe, no. But when she did that, it was literally like, I was like, okay, I'm good. I just know next time not to do that.
So you took one for the whole family. Kiana know, Lana know, Matt, everybody know not to do that. Well, everybody, I thank you so much for sharing. I really do. So I share real quick. I want to share this one because this is near and dear to my heart. When I wanted to make sure I gave one that was true, not just made up. So the one moment that was the hardest thing for me was, it may seem simple to y'all, but it wasn't for me, when I had to give my child to God. That was the hardest thing, because one of my children had decided that they was going to do something that I was totally against. So I always used to put in the fear of God. You this going to happen, and then you ain't going to do this. And I realized that moment I couldn't control my child, right? And so I watched a little video, and the video changed my life. And basically, long story short, I had to realize this here. How many of y'all made mistakes when you were young? Bad mistakes. And nothing your parent could do to stop it. No matter how much they try to scare you, no matter how they try to change you, at the end of the day, you was going to do you because you want. And how many of y'all think your children perfect and don't realize they still getting away from stuff that you don't know about? And so I had to walk out my room and look my baby in her eyes and say, I am giving you to God. And they looked at me and said, what that mean? I will no longer try to change you to get you to do what I want you to do. I will only have a standard in my home. And if I find out in my home you're breaking that standard, I would correct you, chastise you, but I will not try to change you. If this is what you want to believe and think and how you feel, I don't accept it, but I won't change you. I'm leaving that between you and God. Because Daddy did some stuff when he was coming up that nobody could stop me from. But when God got a hold of me, I became the man he wanted me to be. And so that day, I found out that I cannot control my children. All I can do is set a standard. And no matter what my children do, they understand my standard. The Bible says when the enemy comes in like a flood, must raise up what? I raise a standard. I'm a hold a standard. They know not to disrespect my standard. But I will not try to change you. If you believe this to be who you are, just understand in my home, we won't do that. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to embrace you. I'm still going to be here with you. I'm going to still be there with you. But me and my wife have yet to become intimate in front of my mother-in-law. In any way, I may smack her on the lip. I may do a little bit of pat on the butt, but I would not disrespect my mother-in-law in her house. Because why? She set a what? Standard. I would not have sex in my mother-in-law's house because she have what? A standard. So you can choose whatever lifestyle you get, but when you walk through these doors, don't break my standard. I will give you to God, but God gave his house to me. And we're going to have honoring in this house. So that's what I have to do, is to do that. And I've seen God take a hold of each one of my children. When I've done that, each one of them in different ways. And I didn't have to do police outside the home. I just was the standard inside the home.
And if I sniff and smell anything, baby, when I say it, I'm talking about spiritually. If I sniff and smell, we told some, listen, I'm going to give you only a couple of months. And either you go, or you can stay and be by our rules.
We got a rule in the house. If I think you're having sex, the clock begins. You got 6 months to move out of my house.
Right. Judge us. I don't care. That's our standard. Devil is a lie.
First of all, I don't house another dude's coochie. If I got one household,
Bishop,
if you can sleep with her, you can house her. No, I will not. And if you disrespecting me to sleep with him and ask me to buy you food, I have a whole lot of problems with this. And then get an attitude with me and go hug up on him. Y'all both got to go. I got some serious issues going on here, so no.
It's going to get us kicked off of YouTube again.
6 months. And I'm being graceful. 6 months. She bought 3 more months out of the situation.
I say, babe, please just give him.
Figure it out.
Give him 6 months. Give him. Look, go ahead. What she say?
I got mad thinking about it.
This box has not been opened. Okay. I just want to let that know now.
She's still in the house.
Because I have a feeling that the Lord would, no. Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
And listen, you ain't got a lot to me, but how many you move different?
You move different. And a woman can tell. The mother of the house, the queen of the house can tell when you done shifted. Baby, you can sense. That's why I said if I smell, sniff. So we can tell when you done shifted.
Bishop, you wrong. You trying to control life.
I can tell when you done shifted. No. The devil is a lie.
Have all the sex you want.
Because that's when, I don't care if you 12 or 11, I will fight you in my house. Because you just tapped into something that.
Boys, get daddy condom supply. Daddy got to fight for his, no.
Bishop, what's brother, the baby back there done had his hand up.
Who? Go ahead, Ron.
Go ahead.
We finna go.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock.
I was enjoying all of that. But I'm just want to add to something real quick. I remember my son was about 7, and I forgot what he had did, but I mean, I had got really, really angry, and he was always the child that liked to run. So, you know, so I was always clever. I would always close and lock the door.
Yeah, you have to do that with
one.
one.
Nowhere to go. And I remember he was in the corner and he was just screaming and hollering. And then I remember I had hit him like 2 times, and I had to stop because I saw myself in that same situation when I was a child. And I told myself, I said, I would never reproduce the same thing my mother did to me.
No,
my mother had whipped me out of anger, and I was bitter and mad. And I said, I would never do that to my son. And I mean, I apologized to him for almost 10 years.
Wow.
And he had forgot about it. But God had always reminded me that don't let your anger get to the best of you. You have to do things different.
You're right.
Now, since he has humbled me, me and him have the most best relationship that we have ever had.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. Hey, we're finna do a lightning round. How many questions we got left? 2. We do a lightning round. We're gonna answer them and move on. Second question, real quick. Yeah, come on, brother Devin, finna go. What should you do if you lose the people that are close to you for your happiness?
What should you do?
That is, I can't lightning through that. Go to the next question. How can I have expectations for my child that have become demands that I clutch out of fear rather than hope that I seek from God by faith? You know what we're going to do?
Them both.
Both of those. We're going to Bible study Wednesday. Be online. We got to deal with them 2 questions. I will not run through those because each question today was powerful questions. I'll give you some praise, actual questions. And so, listen, I am going to have Bible study this Wednesday. We're going to have it online. And I'll let you know I'm praying about coming back to the building next year, not this year. So y'all can breathe and relax. We will not come back to the building until next year. And if God tell me next year.